or Spain, Women's World Cup champions 2023, Estupido Manchester United. How are you doing? You're back on the Gold Coast. Good to see you again. I miss you already.
How you going, buddy? All good over here. What a week it was, down in Sydney. Too much drinking and not enough podcasting,
Yeah. Yeah, well, mate. That's what I love about this pod. We've got no plan. We just do it whenever we feel like it. So
A bit like our days, isn't it? We just rock up and go with the flow.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Look, it's a pity we don't get Shane on a bit more often, but he's an absolute champion bloke, and the man can drink. I tell you, can't he?
He's bad influence, Like
Yeah.
I didn't drink before that trip, so I blame him.
Yeah, well, I think he was.
Hey, we got a few good photos from him. That he's actually smiling, looking at the camera, and yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah. Good on you, Shane. What I want to get into first, I really don't want to. I don't even really want to talk about this, but anyway, let's talk about Manchester United's 2-0 loss to Tottenham Hotspur. Ange Postecoglou, we should know his name off by heart by now. Ange taught Manchester United a lesson, didn't he? He's an unbelievable coach, or manager, and he just knows how to get the job done, Ange, and he's already looks like he's got the backing of the players and most definitely the crowd on his side. What better way to get the crowd on your side than really touching up Manchester United, because United were never in the game. But then again, saying that, we get that penalty and, things could be different. But you know what? We didn't deserve to even draw that match or even get a goal. We were that poor. Give us your thoughts, Dean. You watched it at 2:30 in the morning after about 5 or 6 beers and a few shots.
And now you want me to talk about it.
And then we'll break it down.
Yeah, we'll break it down into beer talk, eh? No, like Ange Postecoglou started as pretty much dream at South Melbourne. Of course, South Melbourne played Manchester United. Was it 2013, I think it was, or
yes,
can't remember now, but yeah, Ange managed Manchester United then, so of course he was going to get his first EPL victory against us, wasn't he? It was meant to be, and obviously the phenomenal rise in Australian football over the last 3 weeks that just capped it off really, and of course my phone was pinging Ange Ball's arrived, and from people that don't even watch it, it's just because the headlines over here were Ange Ball, Ange Sons, Manchester United, they just jump on it now. So, but congratulations to Ange. Obviously it's pretty exciting to see that a manager from Australia can go to the EPL, and that Tottenham made us poor as well. It wasn't just us being poor. They did well, and I thought that first 30 minutes we could have had 2 goals. I don't know how Bruno misses that header. I could have headed that ball at that hour. 2:30 in the morning. So, but yeah, it's just
not even get it on target.
But I think it was later in the half, he gets yellow carded for whinging to the referee and that, and we all know the refs are cracking down on that. So that was always my worry with him getting the captaincy and stuff like that. So he's going to miss games this year just because of arguing with the referees. So he really needs to cut that out of his game and just worrying about hitting the target.
Yeah, look, early in the game, their touches were so poor. They just weren't even in the race, were they? Like the simple one touch, there was stand and pass again, and you saw Bruno get chopped, which I was a bit disappointed. Like he's got blood coming from his from his shin. You'd think the player would get something. I don't even think he got a yellow card for it and stuff like that. Look, it's probably big talk about Bruno in this game because, like you said, he is captain now, and I know he was captain last year, but you got to look at it as if he was vice captain. I still have an issue with Anthony. The guy's so one-dimensional. It's sort of starting to annoy me a bit more because I expect big things out of Eric Ten Hag, and I'm not saying that he hasn't shown us big things already, but the guy's got to be dropped. You've got to drop the bloke, especially when Palestri comes on late in the game and he's making an impact. And he's done it in the last couple of games. Nearly every game he makes an impact when he comes on, Palestri. Now, I don't care whether he's young or not. If he's showing more than Anthony, then he needs to play. If Sancho can't do the job, then Palestri needs to be in there. Look, Sancho came on into that game, but he started to look okay. But you can see Rashford's just not enjoying himself playing at 9. You can see that. You can see the body language. But you know what? He's got a job to do. Do the job. Don't get the shits, because it just pisses everyone off. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see another Marcus Rashford where he's just got the shits all season because he's playing out of position or he's not agreeing with something. Just fucking get on with the game. You paid good money to play well. Just play. And you know what I'm like with Rashford. I love the bloke. But you've got to turn up. You've got to turn up regardless where you're playing. If you're thrown in at right back, left back, centre midfield, whatever, you've got to turn up. You can't just stand there and just basically just walk around, because that's what he was doing at times, just walking around again. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, like last season we got off to a really bad start, and obviously it didn't cost us the title, those 2 matches, but it could have been a hell of a lot closer, that title race, if we did win those first 2 matches. And it just seems to be repeating itself. And after a year of under Ten Hag, you'd think there would be improvement, but to be fair, like, I only see improvement in bits and pieces. Like, we've been crying out for a centre forward for 10 years. We finally spent big money on one and he's injured. Like, okay, he's injured, so we should be getting a second striker, you know what I mean? Like, I always thought the Mason Mount transfer was a weird one. Like, I didn't prioritise that position as much, like, obviously we had like Hannibal, Kobe Manu and players like that could actually fill that role if we had to. But we don't have a striker, and we needed 2 this summer, and we got 1 and he's injured, and I haven't actually seen a date when he's actually returning. So, we've still got the same problems as last season. Like, plus you got Casemiro who's a year older, Eriksen who's a year older, Varane who's a year older, you know what I mean? Like, it's there's still a long way to go, and it's not going to be a quick fix. And to be fair, the only player that's impressed me the most this season is Onana. And even though it gets your heart rate going, his passing and distribution's amazing. Like, he was pinging balls to, what did Ten Hag call him? Our transvestite or something? What did he call him? Garnacho?
A lesbian.
Lesbian.
I don't even understand that. There's got to be something more to that. There's got to be something.
I got no idea.
There's got to be a misunderstanding somewhere there. And if anyone can explain it to me, feel free to text me, because I'm sure people are taking that out of context. There's got to be more meaning to that. So please, I haven't seen the interview, but I'm lost. He can't be talking about what I'm thinking he's talking about. So if anyone,
I thought I was still dreaming this morning when I read that. I was like,
I don't know. There's got to be more to it. I'm a pretty simple bloke, and those things sometimes just fly over my head. So if someone can explain it to me, just text me and let me know. That'd be great.
Getting back to the game though, instead of that sort of talk, Garnacho, we know he's got the promise. It's just, it's sort of his final delivery, final touch, and that and his decision making sometimes. Like, he's only young though, so we can't expect. We've got players that are leaders in that team, like your Rashfords and all that. And I've been saying to you forever about Rashford, like, he can play 9 if he starts out wide early in the match and then he gets brought in. But when he starts a match as a 9, he just doesn't get involved in the match. Like, I can't remember one match where he started at 9 and he's dominated like the match. I can't remember it.
Yeah.
And as you say about Anthony, like, we got him and Sancho, 2 wingers who cost us like 180 million. And to be fair, none of them should be playing. And, in preseason, when we went to America, he played Sancho as a false 9. So why not just play him as a false 9 in the Premier League? I don't get it. And
I wanted to get onto that.
Martial's injured
all
preseason, and he's on the bench for the game on the weekend and comes on. Like, I don't get it.
Surely you got to be better off starting Look, I love Garnacho. You love Garnacho. Everyone loves
Yeah,
all the hype around Garnacho. You
yeah,
see that just in trading cards, mate. If you're part of it, you know how much you pay
yeah,
for a card for Garnacho. I'm not big on paying big money for him or anything like that, but everyone loves him. But he can't start. He really can't. And I agree with you. You played Sancho at a false nine in the friendlies. Put him in a false nine now. Fucking
mm,
Anthony, get him out of there. Put Sancho. Oh, I mean, Sancho, you're going to play at nine. Rashford out on the left. Yeah, you'll have to play Anthony out on the right. But if he's not doing the job, maybe you have to start Palestri there.
yeah.
And that's just the way I feel. People might feel different. Leave your comments there. Let us know. But yeah, I don't get that one. That you've got to
Neither.
have him playing in a false nine if you've tried. I still
Yeah.
remember Eric Ten Hag doing that before. He was doing some things at trials, and then when the season started, he didn't actually start that way. I don't know. It blows me away. Yeah, the other thing that makes it look bad with Anthony is Aaron Wan-Bissaka
His
playing.
haircut.
Oh, mate, it's horrific. He's him and Garnacho go to the same shop, I think. But yeah, what's his name? Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like he even looks better than Anthony. He looks way better than him. It's
Well,
just
play Dello up there. Like, play
yeah.
Dello up. At least, he does a bit of skill. He takes it to the byline, crosses 1 out of 5 or whatever, It's more than what is shown at the moment. So,
Well, you
mix it
don't
up.
even get a
Mix it
cross.
up.
You don't even get a cross off Anthony because
No,
he's too scared to
no.
use his right foot. Like
But he
it's
always just cuts
ridiculous.
back in and tries to aim for the back post. Like,
Yeah.
and goalkeepers know what he's going to do now. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
know he scored a few last season like it, but as I say, teams evolve except us. Like, I watched West Ham this morning absolutely trash Chelsea. They brought James Ward-Prowse for 30 million, who, is the best set piece ball deliverer person in the EPL, in my opinion. And he makes an instant impact, like takes a corner, goal straight away. Like, when was the last time we scored from a set piece? Like, I
Yeah.
can't remember. James
It's just
Ward-Prowse,
annoying me.
like, yeah. So,
But
but yeah, anyway. Let's talk about the World Cup, eh?
yeah, I just want to touch on a couple of other things like going back to that handball. I don't want to talk. I don't want to sit here and go, okay, it wasn't a handball. We lost one last. We drew. We won the game last week. It's justified that we never won that one. Won that penalty. Get fucked. Referee the game for what it is. That's it. Referee the game. I agree. It was probably a penalty last week, but obviously they didn't. Don't go referees going to this game now and go, oh, nah, we gave him one last week, so we're not going to give him one this week. Referee the game for what it is. That's a handball every day of the week. I don't care whether he's closer or further away or whatever. He's impeded Garnacho's shot. And it's ridiculous that was not a penalty. You saw it last night in the Women's World Cup final. It was exactly the same penalty, and it was given. It's a joke. I'm so over this inconsistency in refereeing. It's a joke. Like if that was Casemiro, they called Bruno. Casemiro would have been off. It's just ridiculous how there's so many different sides to a story, and these referees all read out of a rule book, and the misinterpretations between these rules are ridiculous.
But it's not even just the referees. Like, you got 3 people looking at a monitor too, and I'm actually more disappointed at the non-outrage after the game. Like we saw last week, all the officials got dropped to the lower divisions, missing a game, and I haven't heard anything about these officials. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, as you say, the inconsistency. And getting back to last night's match with the women, like, if it takes 6 to 7 minutes to review a penalty, it's not a penalty. Like,
Yeah,
that's my opinion. Like, if it takes, I think they've got about 4 people in the VAR in the World Cup and the referee. So you got 5 people looking at something, and it takes them 6 minutes to decide a penalty. It's just not a penalty in my eyes. Like,
no,
it's we've seen it in like other codes, like in Australia, like rugby league, and the inconsistency and stuff like that. But I just think if something takes 6 minutes, it's not a penalty. Like,
Yeah, you're
I
looking
don't
for
get it.
something, aren't you? You're actually looking
Yeah,
for
like,
something. It's
and like
it's
obviously there's
crazy.
a lot of pressure on them because it was a World Cup final and stuff like that. But there's 5 people looking at it. It's not just on one person. So, it's just crazy. And as we know, as soon as the ref goes and looks at the monitor, 99 out of 100 times it's a penalty. So just award the penalty. You don't even have to look at it.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. Yeah, 100%. I want to just touch on Onana's couple of big saves from Onana as well in that game. There was, which was good, and like you said before about his footwork, how he's switching out and stuff like that, and it's their first time switches too, which was good. Talk about the goal. I want to talk about the goal and air swing deflection. Like Martinez, does he need to go back to the bench, and does Lindelof need to come in his spot, or does he hold it? I know he's going to hold it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, we saw Lindelof last season when Martinez got injured. Did a great job, and the only problem with that is, how many games we're going to get out of Varane until he needs a rest or he gets injured. To be fair, Martinez looks a bit rusty at the start of this season, and we know he had that big injury last year, so I'm not sure if it's a bit of a hangover from that. But you always expect a yellow card every match with him, so 5 matches and he'll need a rest. So it's it's a hard one. Like, I see where you're coming from and all that, but I think you sort of just have to start him, really. Like, we don't have much choice unless we bring your man in, Harry Maguire. So,
well, what was the go there? Like, at starting lineup, he put 3 keepers, and Harry's not even in the team. There was 2 keepers
he's
on the
saving him
bench.
for West Ham. He's saving him for West Ham.
Oh.
If I'm Harry Maguire right this minute, I'm going to West Ham after this morning's
100%,
game.
yeah. 100%, yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
if you're looking at your playing future, with the national team and stuff like that, and West Ham want you, if you're going to earn 150K less a week and all that, like, surely he doesn't need the money. So wouldn't you rather be playing football while you can? Like, he's 30 now, I think, is he? Or, he doesn't have long to go in my eyes. So,
Well, he has to be
yeah,
playing. He's got the
going to West
Euro.
Ham.
It's the Euros coming up next year, so he
Yeah.
has to be playing to be picked for England. So
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Anyway,
Well, we've still got the Deadwood at the club. Like, I know we got rid of a couple, but a lot of them were youngsters. We've still got Eric Bay. Martial's Deadwood, in my opinion. You got Harry Maguire. I'm sure I've missed a couple there, but it seems like we haven't actually got rid of the Deadwood. Like, you look at the players that left, like De Gea. Well, he wasn't Deadwood, was he?
yeah,
Zidane Iqbal wasn't Deadwood. Charlie Savage
no,
wasn't Deadwood. I think Fred's the only one we've actually got rid of that would be in the squad.
yeah. What's the young midfielder that we got rid of as well? What's
It
his
was
name?
Charlie Savage and Iqbal.
No, the other one just before that, he left. He was very good on the tour last year's tour. He went and played at Forest. Oh, do
Are you talking about Ghana?
Yeah, Ghana. Yeah,
He left. Yeah, he's at Everton.
yeah, he's at Everton
Yeah.
now.
No,
Yeah,
but he left like before this. Like.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know he did.
yeah,
But like, he's one kid I would have liked to have seen stay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like you said before. I think we need to start buying like $30 million players instead of buying these 100 million, 80 million, 70 million. Just go and buy the no-name player and just let him bleed for the club. Because like, off air, you were talking about the girls work their ass off to get sponsors. These guys have already got them. They're not working for nothing. They're just playing to collect their check at the end of the week. It's so irritating. Look, I know it's only 2 games in. I'm sure United's not going to be battling the whole season because we have got a good enough side to make that top 4. But it's quite disturbing.
Do we?
Oh.
You think? No,
Anyway,
honestly, do you think? Like,
not
you look
after
at
the
teams
first 2 games. After the first 2 games we've played, I can't. You name your top 4 now. You go City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Forget about them.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. look, Newcastle against City, that was a
Spurs.
cracking game. Spurs,
Yeah.
like they're your top four
Yeah.
teams. Even a couple of the other teams that are there
Well, you
hanging
got
around.
Villa
really.
and Brighton. Like I know Villa got pumped by Newcastle, but on the weekend that's just gone. Like they were completely different beasts. So if the top four is not going to be easy because we're also going to be playing
from what I
Champions
hear
League
in
and
that
stuff
Villa
like that.
game, from what I hear on that Villa game, Villa actually looked really good. They didn't actually deserve to get pumped. Yeah, so
yeah. Well, Newcastle are a good team this year. Like they've spent money. Like the Italian midfielder Tonali,
they've got the desire to play, haven't they? They got the desire to play. They want to prove everyone money isn't everything to get us to win us things. They have got that desire. This is one thing that our team hasn't got. It's crazy. Like you
look
can't
at like
even
that
see it in the tunnel.
That Newcastle defense, like the back four, apart from like Trippier, you wouldn't be like, who are that? Like they've got like Lewis Duncan, that like, center backs that you wouldn't be like, I've got all the money in the world, I'm going to go get them. He sort of got them from like mid-range Premier League clubs, and they're there, not on massive money. Like I know they got taken over by the Saudis, but they haven't just gone bang and thrown hundreds of millions at people.
Because
like,
it's the wrong
I think
way to do
Tonali
it.
was the only expensive one, So
yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the Women's World Cup. Let's move on to it. Dino, you know what I want to do with this segment here? I want to talk about our journey through the World Cup because I tell you what, we have had a ball. We have done a lot, haven't we? Like even when you were up on the Gold Coast, you went and watched a fair few games. You met up with Joe. We're both lucky to meet up with Joe, and we're just pumped for it. And then you come down to Sydney, and mate, it all began
your trains don't bloody work. Jesus Christ!
It all began around the 27th of July. 27th, which is my daughter's birthday. That was the first game we went to. We went to one on the 28th of July. Have you got a special guest there or something?
Oh, someone's banging on my door. Hang on a sec. I'm doing a bloody podcast and you're carrying on like that. We're live podcasting and you've just banged on the door and all sorts of things.
G'day, mate.
G'day, how are you?
Thanks. Hey, look what I got. These are the best home deliveries. Oh, carry on.
It started at the 27th or 28th of July. That was the first game we went to, the England Colombia game, I think it was. We went as a family. My wife, my two daughters, and their BFs came with us. It was Kira's birthday. Went out for dinner, and it was just the whole experience of our first World Cup match was just brilliant. I just loved every bit of it. Before that, we went up to the Central Coast to watch England play as well. And, we met a lot of the England side, which was fantastic. It was just, like we said before, nothing's ever organised and just everything seems to fall into place for us on Man Cave United. And so we're very lucky about the experiences that we've had over this World Cup. What about yourself, mate?
Yeah, as you say, like, when it first got announced that Australia was going to have the World Cup, Australia and New Zealand going to have the World Cup, it was like, oh yeah, it'd be decent sort of thing. And, I don't think anyone could have imagined what it's turned out to be like this last 3 weeks. Like, as growing up as a kid here in Australia, born in New Zealand, and that football's way down the pecking order. And to see, like, in New Zealand, Eden Park, the home of rugby, have a sellout crowd when New Zealand's not even playing, it's just like crazy. And same as in Australia, you had sold out stadiums when Australia weren't playing and stuff like that. And you never thought that would happen.
No.
And, I know FIFA cop a lot of shit in that, but like the price of tickets, like it cost me $40 to go watch the World Cup final in brilliant seats. Like it's just unbelievable. And
that was the thing with the whole World Cup. Like I only organised one ticket, like 4 tickets to go see that England Colombia game through our sponsor McDonald's at Kalgoorlie, and he got us those tickets, and then I didn't have any tickets. You know me, I wanted to go to all the England games, and I was lucky enough. I always got tickets, and look, at times Emily, Shane's daughter, she was loving England. That's about her background. And she hadn't organised tickets either. And look, we did really struggle with that FIFA site. I thought they could have done it a lot better because even at last night's game, there was so many seats around me. There was probably 100 seats around me that there was no one in. So, and that was throughout the whole World Cup. I think they need to really look at the way they organise tickets and seating and stuff like that. But, look, I was working one Saturday and Emily was stressing out that she's not going to get a ticket. She's always, refreshing. And then what? I got offered a ticket like 5 hours before the game through Rob Novinsky. And, I could have gone, but I didn't. I ended up giving it to Emily. She said, oh, no, actually, Rob's one. The three of us went. We had 3 tickets, I think, with Rob. But I did get offered one of Johnny Wong, our good mate. And, we gave it to Emily. Emily went out and watched the game. And Shano stayed outside and watched it on the big screen. That was the Australia-England game. You were at that game, weren't you? Australia-England? Yeah.
That's when your trains didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of hooligans decided to cut the cords or something, whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, it was exciting games. And look, you know what I did today? I actually went back to our first one we spoke about, the World Cup, and listened to who we thought would win the World Cup. And funny enough, in our conversation, we both spoke about Spain and Japan. And yeah, sure. And we jinxed Japan. Well, I did. I jinxed Japan because Spain came out and jinxed Spain because Japan flogged Spain, didn't they? Was it?
Yeah, 4-0, wasn't it?
4-0. And then Spain
but
went
you look at like the men's and previous women's World Cup, like the winner seems to get a bit of a touch up. Like I can't remember, did Saudi Arabia beat Argentina the last something like it was?
Oh yeah,
sure
yeah,
Argentina
in the men's World Cup. In the men's World Cup. Yeah. That was first game. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting back to like the ticketing and stuff like that, obviously like FIFA trying to stop like all the touts and that from trying to get the tickets and all that. And I know where you were, they were sold as restricted view, I'm pretty sure, weren't they?
Yeah, they're restricted view.
The bottom 3 rows get sold as restricted view. Just the way that the stadiums here in Australia are set up for other sports and that. So, but like it's as I say, I can't complain about the FIFA. Like I thought they, did a great job with like the ticketing and how it all worked. And, you could only actually physically get your ticket an hour before the gates open and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I like that. That's good.
Like in the final, what it was like people, it cost me $120 and we're trying to sell $120 and all that. Like, but if you got your ticket like 3-4 months ago, they were $40. So
yeah, that's right.
It's I just find like it's hard for people to like. I know. I just find it difficult that when people come up with you and I got 6-7 tickets and it's like, well, if you're just going by yourself, why do you need 7 tickets? Do you know what I mean? Like it's like
totally.
Their main objective at the start is to buy tickets, and I understand that for like Premier League games and that people do make money off it and stuff like that, which is shit. But for a women's World Cup that's just starting off and getting bigger and bigger, and it's a family friendly event. Did these people really need to go out and buy a heap of tickets to do that? You know what I mean? So but it's Spain were unbelievable.
They
like
were.
that final, that first half, they were better than what United were. Like I'm not joking. Like their press and work off the ball was amazing. And they had a key figure up front, Formosa, who just would hold the ball up and distribute to the young 18-year-old girl. I forget her name, but she ended up getting young player of the tournament. And she had a blistering speed and stuff like that. And whenever England were on the attack, like the fullbacks, like Honor Badia, who's the next Man United girl, she she had Helm in her pocket the whole match. So it was great to see,
awesome, man. She was so good.
Obviously, I feel sorry for my English mates and stuff like that because they've been to a few sort of semis and finals now, and that trophy just ain't coming home. So it's been 1966 when they actually did go home. So it's been a long time for them, and with the men's side was the last World Cup their main window. Only time will tell. So
well, look at you
as a whole.
with the
Yeah, go on.
Spain side, they won the under-17s last year. They won the under-20s last year, and now they've won the women's in 2023. That's
And that
incredible.
young rookie girl, she was a part of all three teams.
All three teams, yeah.
Yeah,
Unreal. She's
yeah.
unbelievable. But they even like last night, I think it was the first time that a team outpassed England. Just their movement off the ball and their decision making, even when off the ball, they weren't just 1v1 tackles, they were swarming players. They were hitting lines, like putting through balls, and they just, you could see as soon as an England player got the ball, usually you would go, oh yeah, she can handle her. But it wasn't. There would be three players running all together to win that ball back. And it was just incredible to watch that. Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen teams actually swarm players 1v1. Look, Spain could have sat back in that game and let England come onto them, but they didn't. They took the game from the very first whistle to attack England. And I was going for England in the World Cup, even though I did say earlier that I think Spain are a very good chance of winning the World Cup just through their passing range and everything like that. It was awesome to watch. Really, it was. Like I mean, I watched a lot of it on the screen, because I couldn't see that depth of field like you had. But at times, mate, my head was in my. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe. Look, they did hit the crossbar, England, but you know what? It was they were never in the game. They really weren't. And the more they tried, the worse it got. And I've got to say, to the coach's credit, she mixed it up at halftime, whether it was a right move or not. I actually thought it was a pretty good move. I actually thought Lauren James came into the game very well. Is it Kelly came up front? She was making, I think, a lot more impact than Russo. I think England were that frustrated with the way things were ending up, and then that penalty against them, which I thought it was a penalty myself, but because she actually leant into it, she actually leant forward into the ball. But they need to. I don't want to go into the handball rule, but for me, it needs to be, if it hits your hand, it's a penalty, or hits your hand, it's a free kick. Easy. And look, one thing I didn't like in this World Cup was commentators calling a penalty a PK.
It used to be chewing gum, didn't it?
PK, yeah. Juicy fruit. Mate,
That's it.
it's not a PK, people. It's a penalty. That's what it is, or a pen. Penalty or a pen or a spot kick. No PK. We're not American. Take your PK back to the United States. And please, young ladies that are commentators, don't follow the American slang, because it is absolutely shit house and it ruins TV. Anyway, that's my little say. Dean.
I know what I'm getting for your birthday. PK on the United top for you, I reckon.
Yeah.
But no, like it was Spain were phenomenal. Like, I reckon that was the best Spain played, and they saved it to the very end. And all we've heard for the last 6 months is how the team's in turmoil, and they hate the coach and all that sort of stuff. And well, maybe more teams should start hating the coach if they can play like that. So, obviously it's dominated by
Well, the
Barca
Matildas don't
and,
like theirs, but it just doesn't work.
obviously Barca and Real Madrid dominated squads and stuff like that. So that probably helps them a lot because they're playing with each other all year round. You know what I mean? So as where a lot of other teams, they've got 1-2 players at clubs and stuff like that, and then they get to these training camps. So it must help somehow that they all know each other and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Congratulations to Spain, and obviously the young girl who scored the winning goal lost her father on the same day. Like that blows my mind. Imagine the up and down in that moment for her.
Yeah.
Like even
Yeah.
with the team, like how did the team celebrate? Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's unbelievable. And obviously no one knew about it until after the match and stuff like that. But mate, it was crazy. She even did a goal celebration for her friend's mum. You know what I mean? It's just like, what the hell is going on? So, but yeah, as I say, World Cup's over now, and it's only a good thing, in my opinion, that it came to Australia, and hopefully we can get a men's one here soon enough. And yeah, the country's buzzing, and I hope that bandwagon just keeps going, because it was unbelievable for the last 3 weeks here. And
Well, the
I even
Matildas
read
again.
today a statue at
Yeah,
Suncorp.
yeah.
So yeah, but I see though, I know what you're like with the Matildas and that, but to be fair, I haven't seen a team, men or women, like get the support that these girls have got like the last 3 weeks.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
it's
the netball does. The netball gets packed out stadiums all the time. Australian New
yeah, but
Zealand
that's
games.
about 8,000.
They've won.
Yeah,
They've won 12 World Cups. You're not going to go and make a statue for them.
yeah, but the World Cup's not. The netball World Cup isn't the same level as a football World Cup. You know
I
that.
understand that. I understand that.
and
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's going to be a big statue, isn't it?
like, is the live sites in Australia when the netball's on gonna sell out like they did here?
No, they're not. No.
Football is the highest
No, they're not
participation
doing.
sport.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So, and I think, once you let go of a few things, you might understand a bit more, but it's, it'll be great.
I understand. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Look, like I've said to you before, and I've said it to you privately, well, I will back the Matildas when my daughter's crew comes through. When they come through, I'll get excited about them, because those girls that are waiting in the wings to become the full-blooded Matildas, mate, look out, Australia. Look out. You heard it here
Adam,
first.
explain to our viewers what Matildas actually is, for those people that don't know.
Yeah, for those that don't know what a Matilda is actually a swagman's treasure. So his belongings, I suppose you could, yeah. So, no, not a swagsman. It's just his belongings, like his collection of a bushman's collection. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Maybe it's like the country's belongings or something. Maybe like the land.
I'm gonna get it.
And we don't even know what the statue's going to be like. I doubt it's going to be like a 23 lady squad. So I'm guessing it's just going to be.
Yeah. So the correct meaning of a Matilda is, wait for it, people.
This is a Maltese Aussie slang.
No, a bushman's bundle of personal belongings. Again, have you say?
Mate, we are an educational channel, aren't we? Our knowledge is just unbelievable. And imagine if Shane was on
fans
here.
Out there, 75,000 fans out at the stadium wouldn't even know what Matilda stands for. And that's what it stands for.
I didn't until you Googled it the other day when we were on the ferry. And I went to school here, so I mustn't have been listening.
Yeah, a bushman's bundle of personal belongings.
There you go. You know what we should do? I'm going to go around and ask people tomorrow if they know what Matilda is. Yeah. And I'll let you know how many people get it.
Yeah. I don't reckon anyone. I put that out there right. All right, Duino. We're going to move into, we didn't even do it last pod. What's new in the cave? And you're going to go first because we did a little presentation to you, didn't we? And there it is.
Got my other tune signed. Leg. There it is.
There it is.
Hopefully that's the highlight of our tournament. Hopefully that's lasting memories.
Well, you definitely think that she would look back on it, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%. That weird bloke in Australia that's got my name tattooed on him. But on a serious note, I just got these. You would have seen I got interrupted during that pod by my neighbour because while I was away, I got a few deliveries, and these came from Vegas from the latest tour that I did, and they had a United Con, which was supporters and fans from around the world went and visited. So got these, obviously Vegas chips. Everyone goes to Vegas and has a bit of a gamble. So got these. It's got the Vegas icon on the back and stuff like that, and just another silly little collector's item. But it's something that you got to have, and also got a San Diego supporters badge. Quite cool. It's got a little surfboard on there, so it suits here on the Gold Coast. So thanks to Tony Hughes for sending me out that stuff. And what have you got for us, Adam?
So yesterday before the game, I did a little commercial, you could say, about going to the football house who put on a football market out at Surrey Hills. And I did pick up 3 jerseys, but 2 of them were not for me. And I won't be talking about those 2 because they're
That was
other
for your
clubs.
favourite son-in-law, wasn't it?
Yeah. Maybe future son-in-law. He did get a warning on Saturday night because it was his 21st birthday, and the text message that I did send was, George, please look after my daughter. And that was the text message I did send him. But to George's credit, he goes, that's first and foremost. Good lad. No, he's a good boy.
Hopefully they had a good night.
And they did. I heard they got home at 3 a.m. So Alyssa had probably had her first experience of getting home at 3 a.m. and then having to rock up and go to work at 9 a.m.
Good stuff.
But yeah, at the football house yesterday, or whatever, football house and friends, or whatever it was, I got myself I have got a Malta jersey, but it was Humroon. So that's the team where my dad, the club where my dad's from, Humroon, or the suburb, I suppose you could say. That's where my dad's from when born, Humroon, and his family. His brothers and that. But I got myself a 2010 Malta jersey yesterday, and I was very, very happy. I was stoked.
We didn't notice. We didn't notice yesterday.
I got myself, a 2010 Malta jersey. Yeah, and you know what I love about this? It's got a hologram in the bottom. I don't know if you can actually see in the hologram like that, but it's actually got in the hologram. It's actually got Malta football in the hologram, and I think it's the Giovanni emblem up in the top. So that's pretty cool, pretty unique. You don't usually see that. And on the back, it's got the Maltese cross with the soccer ball. In the top there, it's got the Malta Association logo up in there as well. And on the back, it's got Malta FA. So, mate, I was pretty stat with Malta FA. There we go. I was freaking wrapped. You know, they had every other country you could think of, and I did not think they would have a Malta jersey. So I was stoked. And it was a good setup out there yesterday. It was bloody good. They had 4 or 5 jersey stores there. And I have to say, full credit to them, the prices were really good. They were really good prices. I think that one only cost me like $60. I bought George a long sleeve. Well, it did have written on a 2003-2004 jersey, the Invincible year. But it wasn't. It was the 2004-05 jersey where they got to wear the gold badges and stuff like that, Arsenal, and I bought that for him, and I think that was only like $90. So that was a bargain, that one in itself, because long sleeve kits are very expensive. And I looked that up online, and that was worth, I reckon, $300-400. So we did well with that one, and we got him a Juventus one. So all in all, it was very good. They had a guy out there that sells boots as well, which was actually, I didn't know. It's George's actually best mate. So one of George's mates. So it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool event. It would be good to see. I actually mentioned it to the football house today. That would have been nice to see someone out there, maybe with some cards or something like that. You could do a swap meet for cards or buy some cards off him or something like that. That would have been pretty cool as well. But all in all, it was good. The guy I got my jersey off was called VAR in Melbourne, the Malta jersey. So look him up. You know, we're all about helping small businesses here. So, you know, we're not making anything out of this, but I always like to see people do well. So,
and you love the VAR, so.
Yeah, I love the VAR. It's a pretty cool name, actually, not VAR, Melbourne. So, yeah, that's the pod for this. Congratulations, Vlamo, Spain. We're going to keep following United. We're going to end the pod there. Dino, you got anything to say? One thing I will say before we end it, actually, I want to say thanks to Dino coming down to Sydney. Shane, we all caught up. We had a couple of really big nights. You know, we don't often get to do that. We'll hang out with each other. Dino's got, well, I'll do my one first. The Supporters Club, we've got a game against Leeds this weekend. Midday kickoff. I'm actually putting the boots on. I don't know how long I'll last, but it'd be good to have a kick around with the boys. I'll try not to get frustrated. If someone chops me, I'm coming after you. And Dino, you talk about your supporters club because you've got some good stuff coming up as well.
Yeah, so on the 11th of November, Saturday, we've got our five-a-side charity event, and it'll be our 11th one that we've held. And our major sponsors, Vito Sport, always look after us with that and the trophies and goals and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a special occasion. It's just not United fans, it's just football fans in general in Brisbane. And, you know, we usually get about 24 teams, so it's good turnout. And, you know, we have the Jemba Cup for the lesser final, and then we have the Vito Cup for our main final. And it's always, you know, there's some great footballers there that play NPL Brisbane and stuff like that. So there is a fun side to it, but there is a serious side too. And, you know, as no one goes home injured, it's a great day. And we obviously raise money for a charity and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just great to see football in Brisbane just getting bigger and bigger. And, you know, talking about the Matildas, we actually, you know, we've thought about maybe just getting four women's teams or girls teams to play and all that. But yeah, it just comes down to, you know, organising that side of it. And, you know, hopefully we can build on that. And you never know in the future how many we can get. So if you don't want to play, just get out to Redlands Football Club and, yeah, come support football in Brisbane.
We'll post this on Man Cave United on Instagram and what else are we on? TikTok.
Oh, you're on everything.
Yeah, so
Threads. You're on Threads. So.
Yeah, we're on Threads as well. So go and follow us there, guys. We never ever say it. Look, we should say it. Like, share, subscribe to Man Cave United. I know we don't do a pod all the time, but we feel that you know, when we do a pod, we're here enjoying ourselves. We're not taking it too serious. So, and that's the way we like talking. We like to go for a drink and you know, hang out together and Tilly shots. Yeah, they were horrific. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, guys. Give us a chance. We'll come out with some good content. We're not around all the time, but we do our best to try and get one a week or at least one a month anyway.
Oh, stop it. You text me every day about one.
So anyway, guys.
It's good fun, as you say. We don't take it too serious. And
the other thing is too.
We'll talk about the weather if we have to.
Like, yeah, that's it.
Talk about everything, you know.
The other thing too, guys, is if you've got something that you really, really treasure or any type of Manchester United memorabilia, sling it our way and I'll post it on our page. I'll sling it on our page. I'm going to start posting a lot of my stuff now on Man Cave United because I do filter it between my personal page and Man Cave United. But, you know, we're trying to get bigger. We are getting a lot of followers on Instagram and TikTok now, and I wish they would go over to Man Cave United on YouTube. But, you know, we're happy to encourage everyone on anything. So if you've got something you'd like to show off on our page, just send it through, and I'm more than happy to put it up there. And that goes with any small business with football as well. I'm happy to share your post. Just send it to us. We used to do it on Worldwide Reds all the time, but we've shut that page down now, and we're doing it all on Man Cave. So if any supporters club that's got something to promote, let us know, and we'll promote it for you. No problem at all. So, all right, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later. See you later. Check yours.